We're just going to touch on first this idea of digital decluttering, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm doing a little bit of that myself, just reviewing, the fact that I've got way too many logons for too many things, email addresses I probably don't need, filing structures in the cloud, things I could probably get rid of, all that sort of stuff, and how it just made me think that in the current age that we're living in, where everything seems to require a user account or whatever, that you can just build up so much of this crap that it can almost feel overwhelming if you then go and have a look and just see how many of these things you've got, and that you then have to really go back and think about how you're managing it all. It almost like needs its own course or something. I'm sure there is a course in doing it.
Well, decluttering's all the rage, minimalist living, and I've got to say it's a great little article. It's very standard. There's no surprises in it, but it is surprising how many of us just don't do it. And like I still struggle on my Mac ever since I went to OS 10 from Classic. I've never understood the file structure anyway. Yeah. And I only learned about that download folder myself a number of years ago, but pretty much by accident as well. So there's lots of good tips in there, but it does make you think. I've always felt I've been pretty good with the decluttering. And I always wonder if that's because, I'm so ancient now that, I remember the times when, your hard drive could barely store anything anyway. You're putting them on floppy disks. So, you had to be pretty good with that declutter. But it's important not to let your desktop just fill up with junk or your download folder to fill up with junk. You got to keep yourself clean. Yeah. So it's a good article. I enjoyed it.
Absolutely. And the other thing I wanted to point out too was just the idea of the security aspect too, particularly when it comes to things like user accounts. And, I guess as things have progressed, the idea of having like a different password for each account. So if one gets hacked, then your others don't. And then maybe for certain sensitive ones, just chucking on two-factor authentication just to add that extra level of security, particularly if we're storing stuff in the cloud these days.
Absolutely. And one thing which I actually started doing a number of years ago is because we've got so many devices around the house now, is you keep one super clean. That is only for like your banking and, but you don't browse on it. You don't, you use it effectively for all your professional communications. And then, it's another way of adding a layer of security. And as long as you use that device under those conditions, then, you can have a little bit more confidence. Like they have to hack into Ticker Tech and take your credit card details rather than just hacking into your laptop.